Mortgage rates have stopped playing whack-a-mole, inventory is still selective, and while the headlines feel loud, our local market is actually moving with a lot more calm than you might expect. If you're watching the market, planning to move in 2026, or just trying to make sense of what's happening right here, this one's for you. Hey, I'm Michael Brandon, and this is your Neighborhood Market Minute, where I take what's happening in Dumfries, Woodbridge, Quantico, and Stafford and turn it into insight you can actually use. Let's start with the market data. Dumfries is still moving, but the pace has shifted. Homes are taking a little longer to sell compared to earlier this year, and buyers are no longer rushing in blind. Sellers who price realistically are doing fine. Those who push too hard are finding out quickly. Bottom line, Dumfries rewards smart pricing. Woodbridge remains one of the most balanced markets in the region, especially near Route 1 and in established neighborhoods. Demand hasn't disappeared, it's just more selective. Homes that show well and are priced right are still getting attention. Bottom line, location and preparation matter more than ever. In and around Quantico, stability is still the theme. Inventory is limited, demand stays consistent, and housing tied to the base doesn't swing wildly with national headlines. It's a steady, predictable micro market, and that's not a bad thing. Bottom line, Quantico stays steady even when everything else feels noisy. Stafford is giving buyers a bit more breathing room, inventory is healthier, homes are taking their time, and buyers have more flexibility, especially if they're prioritizing space and commute. Bottom line, Stafford is calm, balanced, and still attractive. Okay, here's our mortgage rate check. What's actually happening? Well, Freddie Mac shows an average 30-year mortgage rate hovering in the low 6% range, basically flat from last week. Mortgage Bankers Associated data shows purchase applications moving sideways, which means the number of people applying for mortgages to buy homes hasn't significantly gone up or down. Hey, when purchase applications move sideways, it tells us buyers are still here. They're just taking their time, running the numbers, and making more intelligent, more intentional decisions. For VA buyers and BH-driven households, this matters because it leads to predictable payments. And that's definitely a good thing. Rates aren't first in urgency, but they're also not giving discounts for waiting. That's keeping pricing expectation realistic across our local market. What's building around us? Well, the court station in Woodbridge continues its slow, methodical process. Nothing flashy this week, but every step forward reinforces its long-term impact on housing, retail, and value along the Route 1 corridor. And the Potomac Shores VRE remains one of the biggest future demand drivers in Dumfries. Of course, infrastructure development moves slowly. My neighborhood spotlight, Port Potomac. It continues to show steady, healthy activity, the kind of market that stays resilient without needing hype. Over the past 90 days, homes here have averaged about 42 days on the market and are selling right around asking price, with a near sales to list ratio at 99.5% when priced correctly. That's a strong signal of balance. No frenzy, no panic, just steady demand. Recent sales activity shows a median in the middle 700,000s, while overall home values in the neighborhood are hovering in the low 700 range, with modest year-over-year growth. Not explosive, but consistent, which is precisely what many homeowners want to see in this phase of the market. Lifestyle-wise, Port Potomac checks a lot of boxes. Quick access to Route 1, close proximity to Belmont Bay and the Occoquan corridor, and a strong community feel. And its nearby trails and walkable pockets, it's easy to see why many residents treat this as a long-term home rather than a short stop. Why it matters? For buyers, Port Potomac is a market where patience can pay off. Homes are selling close to asking price, but they're not flying off the shelf overnight. That means buyers who come in prepared, especially with strong financing, may have room to negotiate on terms, timing, or minor concessions. Even if price stays firm, you're looking for stability instead of volatility. This is a neighborhood worth watching closely. For sellers, Port Potomac still rewards realistic pricing and good presentation. Homes that are positioned correctly continue to sell near asking price, but buyers are more selective than they were in peak years. Overpricing tends to lead to longer days on market, while well-prepared homes attract steady interest without needing dramatic price cuts. And in a calmer market, neighborhoods that combine lifestyle and commuter access tend to hold value best. And Port Potomac's ability to sell near asking price continues to quietly prove that point. Okay, let's recap. Rates are stable, not shocking. Inventories are selective, not frozen. Buyers are patient and intentional. Infrastructure still shapes value. And strategy beats speed right now. Okay, my viewer question of the week. If rates stay right where they are into early 2026, would that make you more likely to buy, sell, or stay put? And why? Drop your answers in the comments. I really do read them. And hey, if this Neighborhood Market Minute helped you, give it a like, hit subscribe, and share with someone who's trying to make sense of this market too. And remember, a dream without a plan is just a wish. I'm Michael Brennan, and I'll see you next week.